Hi, we're back again another day, and it's going to be a very nice show. We have two very interesting people, and it starts this morning with Bonnie Dillabough, and she is a writer, and she is all about infinity. So I'm going to find out how she got to get you all of this infinity stuff. And, oh, there you are. Hi, Bonnie. I'm so good to see you.
Oh, it's so good to be here. I'm so excited to be on the show today.
Yes, and I know that I'm excited about your books because that's the type of thing that I can't do. So, and I see people that can do something in that venue. I have to get all the information out of you.
Well, I haven't always been an author. I've been an author in my head, but never actually sat down and started to write. But the story has been around with me since I was 16.
Uh-huh.
When I was 16, I had a dream, and it kept coming back over the years, over and over again.
Yeah.
And this dream, I was in a house, and it was my house. We were having a housewarming. I had just moved in. And one of the guests says, "Hey, do you have such and such?" And I'm, "Oh, yeah, sure, it's in the other room." I go down the hall, and all of a sudden there's a door there that I've never noticed before. And it's like, where did that come from? So I go and I open it thinking it's a closet that I just didn't notice before. And it's not a closet at all. It's this room the size of Costco. It's this humongous room, and in it are airplanes and cars and statues and art and grand pianos and all these things, and it's like, wow, this is so cool. So I go running back out to my friends and say, "You gotta see this cool room in my house." And I get back and the door is gone. It's just gone. And everybody's going, "Yeah, right, that's so funny, ha ha ha." And that's the dream. And it kept coming back and back and back over the years. And it's like, I'd ask people, "What do you think this means?" It just keeps coming back all the time. Nobody had a clue, and neither did I. And so finally, one day, about 3 years ago, I said, "You know what, maybe if I just write it down, it'll just stop coming back in my head." I'd heard that you could do that. And so I did. I wrote it down, and I kind of set it aside. And in the meantime, I'm doing a marketing project with a friend of mine who is a ghostwriter. And he was interviewing authors and all of that. And I was doing the video work for him, editing his videos that he was doing for these interviews. And I kept listening to these authors talk about what they were doing, talk about their dream. I'm going, you know what? I could probably write a book. I wonder what I'm doing about. And then all of a sudden I remembered this silly dream. And that's the seed for the entire book series. It was this dream of finding a door in the house that didn't belong there, in a room that couldn't possibly exist. And so this is a story about a young woman. Her name is Jenny. She's a ghost blogger. She writes blogs for other companies and whatnot for a living. And her aunt dies. She's only met this woman twice in her life. Her aunt dies and leaves her a house, a cat, and a key. And none of them are what they seem to be. So this begins Jenny's adventures. And over time, she discovers things about herself that she never realized was possible, and things about the universe and the multiverse that never occurred to her imaginative mind. In the process, she ends up with the fate of everything she holds dear in her hands. And that's the story of the Dimensional Alliance series, where she meets creatures out of myth.
Wow.
This is a science fiction book that reads like a fantasy. There are dragons and elves and other mythical beings that we, have dismissed as myth in our Earth history that turns out that there is actually a reason why they're in our histories.
Wow. So they really maybe were existing, right?
They really did exist.
They really did.
But the reason why they existed for a while and then weren't there anymore, and so people started saying, oh, it's just a myth. But remember, dragons, for instance. Every culture has myths about dragons.
Oh, well, I believe in dragons.
Right? And so where are they? Where are the bones of the dragons?
I don't know. On another
Right?
planet?
And nobody does. But in the books, I tell you. And so we start out with the House on Infinity Loop, which is my little dream story that starts the whole thing.
Wow.
And then we go to Infinity on Fire. Infinity on Fire is the continuing adventures of Jenny, and she gets entangled with something that's really kind of scary and difficult. She has some hard times that she has to get through. And then the newest book that just came out is Mirrors of Infinity. And this is the final book in the foundational trilogy for the series.
Beautiful.
This is a complete series of books with infinite possibility.
How wonderful. You just having you talk about it, I got excited about it, that I would not think, well, I think, oh, infinity, I'm not interested in that. But when you tell about it, I'm interested because there's real things happening and real people that aren't people, maybe, I don't know. But I'm anxious to find out, who's in there.
Well, and we are introduced to some characters that are beyond the myths of Earth as well. Because this is about interdimensional adventures.
Wow.
So go beyond our galaxy, beyond our universe, beyond space travel into interdimensional communication, and allows us to explore places that, it's often said by scientists, in the known universe, because what we know is that we don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, there's so much.
And so this takes advantage of some theories, some scientific theories about dimensions and the different types of potential dimensions that there are. There's no time travel in this. There's no magic. But I think Jenny's adventures are pretty magical.
Wow. It sounds like it. I really was just carried away there for a while. My gosh, what's going on in those books? Well, all of those things came from just one dream.
Yeah. Well, my mind kind of said, so why is the room there? I've been pondering this now since I was 16, so over 50 years.
Yeah.
And it just occurred to me that there was potentially a scientific explanation for this, that it wasn't just imagination.
Wow.
And so I'm really into fantasy books. I love everything from J.R.R. Tolkien to J.K. Rowling and all of the stuff in between. I love science fiction. My first science fiction author was Ray Bradbury.
Wow.
And I have been reading science fiction off and on, and of course I'm a big Star Trek fan. I'm
a Star Trek fan. I'm just so sad now that I pay a big thing off for my TV, a big amount of money, and then I have to buy another thing to see the movies that I want to see. I don't get to see Star Trek. I have to pay more.
Right. Yep.
And I love Star Trek.
Like me, you were probably watching Star Trek before they were reruns.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm a big Star Trek fan. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I'm just basically your geek. I love all of that stuff, and I like computers and technology and all of those things. And so as a result, I've been able to fit in all of the things I really love in the imaginary worlds that I've experienced over the years, as well as my own personal experience, having been in the military, having traveled a lot in various places, and
And
raising
thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I understand you are also a veteran, and thank you for yours. We really appreciate our veterans. You know, one of the things about veterans is when they raise their hand, they write a blank check to the rest of us that
I've never
they
thought
know
that.
could be cashed at any time.
I want to ask you one thing before
Sure.
I let you go. Did you ever walk into that room?
Only in my mind. Only in my mind. But you know what? I honestly think that there is so much more to the universe than we even begin to imagine. We're babies when it comes to the science that we do understand. But the human curiosity knows no bounds. It is infinite.
You want to hear my idea? I think we
Sure.
originally were on Mars, and it got too bad, and we came to Earth.
Aha!
I don't think we're going. I got them coming this way instead of trying to go that way.
You know what? That's a good premise. That's a good premise for a book.
I can't write it either. And I don't. That's my mind doesn't work that way. You got to do it. You got to do it.
Maybe I'll throw it out to one of my writers' groups. Right now, I've got all I can handle with infinity.
Well, and what gave you the idea of using that as your title, Infinity?
Because her adventures take her into a multiverse that is infinite. That is so far beyond anything that we can ever begin to understand.
Yes.
And there are ideas and concepts in there that when you read the books, you'll go, oh.
I've written that kind of book. I just remember that I did. It's called The Planet, and you're going to have to read it and give me some ideas.
Oh, I would love to. That would be awesome. So, any rate, but, you know, I have to say that this has been a journey for me as well as for my character. And what I love about it is that the feedback I'm getting from my readers and my fans who tell me that this is such a great escape, especially in times like now.
Yes.
And that it's such an amazing kind of opening of their mind and their thoughts. And it started them thinking about what's out there.
Yes.
And what the potential is, just even of us puny humans on our planet. And the idea that there's so much more to it than we even begin to understand.
This has been a joy to have you, Bonnie. I've enjoyed it, and I want to stick with you. I don't want to lose you. We gotta do something because I really am impressed with your writing and with you.
Thank you.
So
thank you
for coming in and come in again sometime.
Oh, listen, I'd be
talk about
happy
some more
to come
things.
back.
Yes, that would be wonderful. Thank you
All right.
so much. Bless
Thank you so much, and
Okay.
thank you, your
Bye-bye.
viewers, for watching today.
Okay, bye-bye.